Is it going? Come on. Now we're live. Good morning. And I can see the microphone working as well. So a very good morning to you. I hope you've got your cuppas at hand or a beer, or if you must, tea. So what have we got in the lineup for you this morning? Excuse me. Number one is a super light micro Sky Munter setup. A tambourine for Brad. Friday. Number four is that Andrew says I'm mad. It's true. Mad as cheese, to be precise. Tundra Maiden episode. Nuts were rags. We have a special. It's bad. It's so bad. And let me just make sure the audio is working loud and clear. Thank you, everybody, for that. Oh, Coca-Cola. Funny you should say Coke. I've got a bottle of Diet Coke here as well, which I've been enjoying this morning. So if I've got burps, you know why. Nuts were ragged. We will discuss in a moment. And links as well. So 7 topics for this morning. So let's get straight into the thick of it. Right, as many of you know that I have the world's fastest micro Sky Munter here on my desk. It's absolutely crazy. We will... where did I put that in my notes? Apologies. Oh, yeah, we will get onto this topic. I'll give you a little glance on this. Is that we will be discussing that in a few moments' time. So I have been and bought one. It's a GPS sensor for an X8R receiver, which I'm not actually using in this model, but I will do, so that we can actually find out how bloody fast this thing is. Because I can tell you it's bonkers fast. So I will be taking votes in the Facebook group. Maybe that's something I need to take a note of on her real speed. But let me just come back onto the topic for a moment. The micro Sky Munter. I've now got 3 of them, and I've got another one being built here at the moment. But I am actually starting to think that I've taken it to 1. Yeah, I've had... Let me stick it down a moment. So I've had... The original one was absolutely fantastic. We put the DYS 2205 motor on it. Great fun. Then I stuck the Mini Talon motor, the Sunny Sky 2216 1250 kV motor with an 8x6 prop. That was also good fun as well. And I've now gone to one extremity, which is the super fast extremity. And it's absolutely bonkers. What I'd like to do with the third model is take it to another extremity, which is to go light. And when I mean go light, I mean go for efficiency in the sky. So what I'm intending to do is, with the third one, is set it up with a little 1806 motor with a 6x3 prop on the back. And go for like a super light setup with the model and see what kind of efficiency we can get out of her. Maybe stick an vector in there as well, because I need to take the vector out to put it into another model, so I'll have all the bits available to me. But there is a challenge which I'm looking for your help with, which is that if we take a look at this model specifically, you'll see that on the back of here is that I had to make a big mounting plate on the back to fit such a large motor on the back. But the challenge which I've got is that for the 1806 motor is that it doesn't weigh anything, so I need to get it like back. Let me just use this one as a reference. So really I want the 1806 motor like back, put this spring down a bit, there we go, is that I want the motor like back here somewhere where this propeller is, so that we get the CG right, so I can run it with a decent sized battery pack. But the challenge which I've got is actually pushing the motor out there. So if any of you have a suggestion, long live the bunny, bunny light. Sorry, I'm just looking, you can see in the chat. Yes, we call it Diet Bunny. I don't know. Sorry, that caught me off a bit guard there. Just to get some standoffs in there. But the thing is that with normal standoffs, is that it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, because the mounting for the 1806 motor is got a different config to a normal motor mount. So I am looking for suggestions on a motor mount which we can use at the back for the 1806. Now, reality is I'm probably going to miss any chat here. So if you've got any suggestions for the 1806 motor to get it back, maybe an inch and a half from the back of the model, please, if you've got any visual examples, that would be great. Please do let me know over in the Facebook group. That is the challenge which I'm on there, which I'm thinking about, the bunny light version for her. So yeah, that's what I'm struggling with right now. I'd like to do a super light version, and that means that I've run into a new set of challenges now, which is the primary challenge is getting the motor back so we gain greater efficiency, and also that because the motor is so small, we need the extra bit of weight back for it to balance out as well. So any suggestions would be 100% welcomed. And also remember that right now Suicide Bunny has got 100 amp ESC in her as well. So in this version I'll only put a tiny one of this little Tony G 18 amp tiny little ESCs in there as well. So I will be keeping it light on there as well. So yeah, glue on length on the phone to extend the fuse. Yeah, you could. Oh yeah, you could a bit of EPO foam and then keep it simple. I like that suggestion, Brad. That would be, yeah, very curious. Very curious. So that was topic number 1. Going to the other end of the spectrum. So we've gone stupidly fast. Let's go stupidly light and see what kind of efficiency we get out of her. I may even. Yeah, there's a few things which we could play with, so that's what I'm thinking. Oh, the other idea which I had, which was even skits for me, was not to run a motor on the back and then put little motors. Who put it? I can't remember who put it in the Facebook group. They had a mini Talon where they made little motor pods on the front. That was also a really good idea. So I did also consider what would it be like to put 2 motor mounts on either side and make it into a twin motor model as well. But then I did kind of deem that was probably a little bit tricky and would be loads and loads of faffing with the CAD software or SketchUp to make a little motor mount. But we could also make it twin motor as well. That would also be an option. And mount those out on the wings. That could also be an option as well. Yeah, Brad, you could stick the motor on the nose, but remember we do have a big issue with the CG, with the Micro Sky Munter. It definitely does need the weight at the back to hit CG on it, otherwise it's just going to be like grossly nose heavy. And if you consider, even if you put a 1.3 3S battery in it, it's still nose heavy, even if you ram it to the back as well. So yeah, curious, very, very curious thing. Lots of things which can be done with that model. I do like it a lot. So that was topic number 1. Now, topic number 2 is one which I've just really quickly added, and this was for Brad, which we were chatting about in the chat here before. Well, I'll do a shout out corner in just a moment. So Brad, this bit's for you, and I want you to listen. All right, that is the 75 micron laminating film. Is the cheap stuff which we bought off eBay, and it does stretch. So I've got a tambourine here, so yeah, it will stretch. It doesn't stretch massively compared to like the Hobby King stuff, but it does stretch. And I've come up, well, there's a lot of dust on this one at the moment, but you'll see that it's actually a really, look at the finish on that with the big lamp up there, is that it has gone tight. So the only issue that I've had is down here in the corners, which is no great big surprise. So maybe a little bit of heat there over the iron will sort that out as well. So Brad, I hope that helps. It was 75 micron laminating film off eBay. We were chatting about it on the flight line on Friday. We reckon actually the eBay seller made a mistake because it was 2 rolls for 14 quid. And those rolls are absolutely massive. Saying that, I've made a really big dent in my roll. And the same for Craig as well. So Brad, I'm glad that's up. Yeah, crap drumming. Sorry, Anthony. Right, let's move into Shout Out Corner. So a very, very good morning. Let me get my mouse back so I can scroll up. Where's the mouse gone? There we are. Right, a very good morning to Stick Mix. Ruds, good morning. Andy, good morning. Scrolling down. We were having a good old chinwag beforehand. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, BMX. Good morning, Joe. Scrolling down. Brad, good morning. Philip, good morning. Oh, Philip was asking about the F22. The F22 really hasn't progressed, to be honest. And the reason why it's not progressed is because I've kind of resigned myself to I need to laminate the bottom of that model because I'm not going to be running it with landing gear. And I do feel after a couple of landings, it's going to look minging. Is probably the best term, so I will be laminating mine. Good morning, Matt, as well. Scrolling down. Kev, good morning. Brad, good morning. Riff, good morning. Nibilis, FPV, good morning. Jim, good morning. Anybody which I've missed? Anthony, good morning. Yeah, so good morning, everybody. Right, and let me scroll down. Have I missed anybody? RC, yeah, good morning as well. Let's get back to the main camera. Brilliant. And Steve, good morning too. Coffee still warm. Happy days. So, yeah, topics, well, third topic, Friday. I need to give you early warning for Friday. I'm in London Thursday afternoon. I've got to do a presentation. There's only about 100 people. And it's only a half an hour chat. So it's on a topic which I know really, really well. So I've got to do a live talk on Friday over in London. But I do get back quite late. So I'm not going to be back till like 10 o'clock at night. Ish, probably a little bit later, which is way past my bedtime. So I want to give you like as much notice as possible that Friday I may not be on here for the RC Coffee Chat. So for all intents and purposes, it will be going ahead. But I would like to apologise in advance that if I'm not around, and you know why I'm not around, it's just because I've passed out because it's gone way past my bedtime, which is normally about 8 o'clock to be honest. But then don't forget that I was up at 2:20 this morning, so I am very much an early bird. I do like my mornings, so I wanted to give you as much notice as possible. Friday, assuming it's going to go ahead, but don't panic if I'm not around or a little bit late. You know why now in advance. Topic number 4, which is Sir Andrew Newton of Newtonus over in, down in Australia, has declared that I am mad. Now, why is Andrew suggesting that I'm mad? Is that and again, I don't know how to pronounce this model's name. If you haven't seen it yet, the Tech One, yeah, I'm going to call it Special K. Okay, so the Special K model looks batshit crazy, to be brutally honest, and even I think Andrew did a good job of not swearing on how fast it is. Is that with the Special K model, is that why could you not put like an extra motor on the back and make it even faster? So yeah, that would be pretty straightforward to do, I reckon. So you got a motor on the front, so you've got a tractor configuration and a pusher configuration, and you could make it go even faster. How cool's that? I think that's great. I don't know if Andrew's going to go and do it, but it would. That's the only really mod which I could see that you could do for that model, is put in a second motor on the back and then make it even faster than it is right now. So yeah. Oh yeah, Anthony, I do love the smell of goop in the mornings. Yesterday in here there was that musky aroma of goop glue here in the background because I glued up the Twin Zoo yesterday, which. What have we done? We've only put a bit of carbon fibre down the side. She hasn't hit paint yet, and the reason why she hasn't hit paint is because I need to solder up an extension lead for the elevator fin, which I overlooked. So Andy, good morning. Just seen you popped in there. Andy says yes, you definitely would need counter rotating props because torque roll would be crazy. I don't think the torque roll would be as crazy as a certain Suicide Bunny, but yeah, torque roll would be an issue. So yeah, counter rotating would be a huge one. So I think I probably should put that note in there. I'm sure Andrew already knows it, but just in case, we'll put a note in there. Let's have a quick look. Brad says Hobby King sells a counter rotating props motor setup with twin motors, 2 props. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Riff, it would be ballistic. Absolutely ballistic with 2 motors in there. Battery life expectancy before it puffs to the size of a Coke can would be about 2 minutes. In there, you would definitely need a very high C battery, at least 65C, and a decent size as well. because remember the way which you work out the current rating is that if it's a 2.2, if it's a 2,200 milliampere battery pack, you call that 2.2, and then you times it by the C rating. So my maths aren't very good, so let's get the calculator out for a moment. So if we had a 2.2, so 2,200 battery pack, and it's a 65 C rating, so we then times that by 65, yeah, we would be able to potentially pull 143 amps out of that battery before being seriously concerned. So if we divide that by 2 for 2 motors, 71 amps for each motor. So I'm sure those motors would be less than that. So yeah, and again, let me just do that calculation for a slightly different battery pack. Those 5200 ones, they're 10C. So I know that I can pull a 52 amps out of this one quite safely and for a continuous amount of flight time. So because I know it's 52 amps because it's 5.2 times 10C. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I hope that helps you work out your battery calculations as well. Riff says there would be a massive yaw effect with counter-rotating props. Yeah, you would want to fly it high. That's for sure. Yeah. Oh, Peter Spirrell would put real rockets on it. Yeah, maybe that's another upgrade. Mount two ignitable rockets underneath each wing for extra speed, and just watch it go. And you might as well just wave goodbye to it because it would just go out of transmitter range before you know it. Andy Wood says, Matt, you should try launching Suicide Bunny straight up. That way it spins but won't hit the deck. Yeah, I have been almost caught out before with doing a vertical launch with a Texumo. If you look back on my YouTube channel, you'll see that episode. And torque roll was an issue with the Texumo. So it is possible, I'm sure, but I would be very, very wary of it coming up and then turning and coming towards me. Yeah, rockets. Yeah, rockets. That would be good fun, to say the least. Now, on a serious point, Andrew was using a little GPS tracker for Frsky using the SPORT. And this is one of the things which I bought yesterday off Banggood. And the reason why I bought it off Banggood and not T9 Hobby Sport, where I would normally buy Frsky stuff, is basically once I put some points against it, it worked out cheaper, even with expedited shipping, and I didn't need any more receivers. So T9 Hobby Sport is a UK-based company. They're super fast shipping, and if I needed some other items, a couple of receivers, then I would have bought them at the same time. But because it's just the GPS sensor I wanted, so I've bought it off Banggood, and it works out cheaper as well. It will track it. You'll also hear Andrew in that episode talking back the speed to us as well. Good morning, Austin, by the way, a new name I've just seen in there. So I've got one of those on the way to me. Now, I want that for two reasons. Well, the main one, to be honest, is Suicide Bunny, because I want to find out how fast she really is in the sky. And the other one is a curiosity on the EF Extra. I want to know how fast that model's going, because that model has got to be easily a plus 100 miles an hour. The Suicide Bunny feels just as fast, if not, I'm hastening to say it, a little bit faster than the EF Extra. So I don't know which one is faster. Now, there's a little bit of irony for you, is because for price, the Suicide Bunny setup works out cheaper, even with the more expensive motor, for the same kind of speed. That is very, very curious. So obviously I don't really trust those little, and again, remember I am using the standard servos on this one, is that yeah, it is kind of curious in short. So which one is faster? I don't know. So I've brought a GPS sensor. Oh, big hat tip to Dave. I was chatting to Sir David of Pinnock yesterday on Messenger, and he also suggested the same GPS tracker. So that's what we'll be getting and finding out how fast that model is in the very near future. So yeah, happy days on that one. So yeah, if you haven't seen Andrew's maiden onboard footage of the Special K, it is now live on YouTube. I'm sure many of you are subscribed to Andrew, or all of you are already subscribed to Sir Andrew Newton's channel. If you're not, I will put a link to the video in the live chat for you. Yeah, very, very crazy. Oh, Kev, you're still waiting for yours to arrive. Oh, bugger. Once it does arrive, I know that you're going to love the Micro Sky Munter. It is such a crazy little model. And like I said, I will be up to 3 of them very shortly. So I'm mucking around with different configs on mine. And like I said, I was very sad when I stuffed mine in a couple of weeks back. So that's why I've bought the extra parts as well. Let's have a quick look. You won't be disappointed if the S.PORT bites the dust, but heartbroken if... Yeah, I would be. Honestly, Joe, I don't want to stuff the EF Extra. It is a very beautiful looking model. It's just built for speed. It's brilliant and poop crazy as a line of sight model, and even crazier as a FPV model. That was an inspired choice by Hobby King to make an FPV pod for it. It does look a little bit weird with the pod on top, but blimey does it fly fast. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's have a quick look. Ref says, I've got a 1115 on an old EFX 3000 kV NTM. I bet that is crazy. And Chris, welcome aboard. Remember, you can hit the rewind on YouTube, and this episode is going to be available on YouTube. I'm just not publishing these publicly for a week. Remember, that's a week-long experiment which we're doing as well. The GPS sensor somewhere between China and home already. Times looking at your chat, which is going up there. Right, so yeah, Andrew says I'm mad. I agree. In short, I'm not disputing that. What was the other topic? Oh, Tundra Maiden episode. I rendered that up this morning for you. The Maiden of the Tundra, and I almost stuff it. Big tip for you. You need quite a bit of elevator movement on a Tundra. I did a reverse loop and brought it round and almost didn't pull out. That would have been definitely resulted in foam snow. So the Tundra in the wilds has been seen. Really, really good model. I do like it a lot. In fact, me and Dave, we are now chatting about setting her up with, I've still got it from the recording this morning. I've got the little FPV mount. Put my hand behind it so it doesn't, so it actually focuses, come on, in there. So that's what I'm doing with my little setup, like so. And we are actually chatting about, because Dave's got a fun cub, we are both going to go and stick a vector in the, in number one, I'm going to stick a vector in the Tundra. Dave's going to stick a vector in his fun cub, and then we're going to go out and do a little FPV mission. I think that's going to be super cool. And just because of the size of the model and because how slow they fly, we'll stick in my case, I'm going to stick a big 5000 milliampere 3S pack in mine. So loads and loads of flight time available. So loads of battery juice. And we'll go out and do a little mission with them. I think that's going to be super cool. I'm really looking forward to doing that. And yeah, absolutely. Do listen out for the flaps on, flaps off. The woman's voice on the transmitter. Oh, I was also using the Mobius camera, which is here. I was actually quite impressed by that. It's not bad. The audio quality is fantastic, but I do need to stick a bit of foam over the microphone, so apologies for the wind noise in that episode. But it flies absolutely great. And then, of course, later in that day, I went on to fly it again and just taking off, landing, take off, landing. I do need to do a couple of tweaks on there because her flaps are a bit big. Well, the movement which I have on the flaps is too much, and I have put a timer on it as well too. Yeah, Anthony, I'm going to be honest with you. I should have gone for the green version. And the reason why I didn't go for the green version is because you couldn't get the like stressful wheels which go with it. So, to be honest, I would have preferred it in green. That said, her, and she's sat over there, so we can't talk too loudly about her, is the grey and orange is very, very visible in the sky. And you can kind of work out on my screen on how bright that orange is that the camera really doesn't do it justice. It is really, really bright, and because of the colour scheme on there, it is really, really nice to see. So I am really enjoying the Tundra, and tomorrow looks like it's going to be a flying day. So I will be dragging her butt across to the flight line and be chucking that one around an awful lot more. So yeah, very, very curious. Riff says, let us know Fun Cub versus Tundra, which is preferred. Now, there's actually a curious conversation on this, because you can buy a Fun Cub for about 90 quid. Okay, the Multiplex Fun Cub for about 90 quid as the kit version, but it does not come with a motor, an ESC, or the servos. When you account for the motor, the ESC, and the servos, is that I reckon for pound for pound, they are about equal. The Fun Cub is slightly different. It's got like a longer fuselage on it, but they are very, very comparable models. The negative with the Fun Cub, which I'm sure every Fun Cub owner will tell you, is the landing gear is utter shite. I know with Stu's, and Stu is not Stu, Si, one of the lads we fly with, is that every time he lands, the landing gear's just like falling off into a million pieces. So the landing gear on the Fun Cub is not good. But yeah, it is curious. It's curious indeed. So yeah, Anthony, the sponge wheels are available as a spare part. You're absolutely correct, but there is no stock of them, or there wasn't any stock on them on the Hobby King website, not even from Hong Kong, for the foam wheels at the point in time. So that said, I really like it. I really do. Even with the little challenge which I had with the rudder servo, which was a pain in the fucking ass to get out. Real pain in the ass. But normally it's the rudder servo which needs the stronger servo in it. So it is what it is. What are the chances of me getting a Duff servo, you know? Pretty remote, and it's done now, and there's no hard feelings in there. I've been really, really lucky up until now with only 2 servos ever turning up here, which have been Duff, and one of those was months and months and months ago now. So it is what it is. No hard feelings, and it flies great. It's a 30-minute build as well. All you've got to do is stick some screws in. That's it. The only tricky part is that it's got those little O-rings to put on the little control for the control horns, which are a little bit of a pain in the ass to get on with a pair of pliers. That's the only place where I struggled. But once they're on, they're on. Oh, and a little tip for you: I did find it easier to unscrew the screw, take the screw out, and then put a pair of pliers in there, and then you just clicked in much easier than trying to. And of course, you're bending the control horn around then if you don't take it off. So I did take the screw out, then put the little metal grommet in, and then click it down in on top. That worked really, really well for me. So yeah, probably a 1 out. I said in that video, about a 1 out of 10 for build complexity. It really, a couple of screws and you're away. It's like probably the simplest model I've ever put together. So Stuart was absolutely bang on though. It was the passion in a box, or whatever terms he used, is that it was really simple to go. Really, really simple. And I'm just looking at your comments on there. Steve says, have you considered the Comet before rocket-powered wing from Durafly? Yes, I have. But it is the price point on the Special K. So the Graffiti, I think that's how you pronounce it, it's 100 quid for a very, very small model. It's not one for me. It's not one for me, in short. It's, as we've seen, Andrew is spoken about, and then the Comet. It is a crazy ass model, but it is 100 quid or thereabouts, give or take a few dollars. You know, it is what it is. And yeah, Anthony, you're absolutely right. Normally, Sir Bruce gets them. It's the way I think he mentioned in one of his episodes about it being like a reviewer's curse. I'm just not going to make a big deal of it. It happens, you know. And to be honest, I would have probably gone on and changed that servo over to one of the Corona 939 metal geared servos anyway. So it is what it is, and we'll leave that topic alone. I broke one of the control horns trying to squeeze it onto place with the pliers. Never thought of removing the screw. Yeah, and Andy, you're absolutely right. Get some curved ball pliers. that would be the logical one. But to be honest, I don't normally get those little round linkages. And I've always managed up until now with a pair of pliers. And the biggest tip for you, if those of you which like me, which don't have those pliers, just unscrew it and then do it. Take the little, so you just put in the metal thing out and you can get better grip on it. Massive tip for you, make sure you clear your workspace or put like a cloth underneath you, because when you drop it, and you will drop it the first time you go to do it, you at least be then able to find it very, very quickly on there. Nick says, should see an update on the new... Oh, well done. I'm really looking forward to that one. Nick's just put a little comment in there. Should see an update on the new Durafly wing very, very soon. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I've got a good idea on the price point, so we'll put that model... Need to go careful on my phrasing. I'll put that model in my shopping cart, and we'll get one of those ordered as soon as we can. They do look super, super cool. Let's have a quick look. And again, I'm just following on with the chat here. Talking of Bruce, did you see his Runcam 3 review? Yes, I thought it was really, really good. I think the point over the SD card was a valid one. Is that what are the chances of doing that? Getting it stuffed down the back? That would be really, really annoying, because you've just stuffed a tenner in the side of the camera not to get it back out again. Really frustrating. To be honest, I'm not going to buy the Runcam 3. It's just the wrong format for me. I much prefer... Whoa, memory card. Excuse me. Let me just put that back where they live. I do much prefer this format of camera. Q6, shite. Runcam 2, fantastic. And I'm really disappointed in Runcam, to be honest, because I really just wish they fixed the microphone on the Runcam 2. If they fixed the microphone on the Runcam 2, you would have like the world's best HD recording camera for modelers. That would have been the best camera. Whereas the image handling, the Mobius is alright. The Mini Mobius sucks, but we won't go there on that one. Wingasm by Andy in there. Anthony says, got mine from Hobby King, good lad. Should be called the Fury Wing with a nod to Marvel. Absolutely. And I've seen the photographs which you guys have been putting in the Facebook group. That would be super cool. Loads of motors on the back. That would be sick from there. And Austin says a very good review apart from the SD card slot. But I think, Austin, let's be fair here. Video quality on the Runcam 2 is unparalleled compared to the Mini Mobius, but the microphone on the Mini Mobius is absolutely amazing. Whereas the Runcam 2, even if I take it into like an Audacity, which is an audio editing program, I'm still struggling to get decent quality audio out of the Runcam 2. So what we really need is this hybrid between them, and that's what I was hoping the Firefly was, but the battery life on the Firefly is terrible. And I don't know if you can see, but I've already managed to break... I don't know if you're going to see that on there. I don't know how there. Can you see that little funny little mark on there? I've already managed to break the OLED screen on the Firefly, because these things, they just get chucked in the front pocket of the bag. So apologies, we've got off topic onto Runcams. Onto HD cameras. Runcam 2 for me all the way, and I just wish they fixed the microphone on it to make it better. Right, so we were chatting about Tundra. Absolutely love it. Got some good... We'll definitely have some more flight footage of that one coming up in the future. I need to get some onboard footage. I do need to tweak the surfaces a little bit. Big hat tip to Tom for sending his settings over as well. Really did appreciate that. So thank you, Tom. Next topic, which is Steve. Yeah. There is a vote which goes along with today's RC Coffee Chat. Now, those of you which did join a little bit early, you may want to refresh your page so the vote appears for you. This is Steve's special landing. So this is the Nuts Were Ragged section. Now, we do have a little video of this, so I'm just going to turn the audio down so you can see the carnage, and I will update the video description. So here we go. Looking good so far, and... Ooh, that just hurt. So there is a vote which goes along with today's RC Coffee Chat. In the top right-hand corner of your screen, you get to vote on what you think about Steve's nuts were ragged landing of his EF Extra. And I don't think the effect of that was too good for the EF Extra. So, yeah, sorry, Steve. That was not pleasant viewing, especially if you consider that just went straight to snow. So, good boy, Steve. Good boy, Steve. And thank you ever so much for posting your video on it as well. Now, I am going to make this point again, is that it is what it is. Don't get upset if you stuff a model. Post a video. Take a photograph. Share it with everybody else. Remember, it's just foam, and as long as nobody gets hurt, that's all it is just a laugh, you know? So, bosh. Yeah, and oopsie, says Joe on there. Looking at your chat here in the background, yes, you can, Riff. You make a really, really good point there. Can't we just take them apart and swap the microphones? Yeah, I watched a video a couple of days back, and what you can do with the Runcam 2 is the microphone hole is right up there in the little corner up there. And it's one of the little tiny little cheapo microphones, is that what you can do is put a different microphone in there, and again, side mounted might be a good idea, especially if you imagine that I'm here like chatting to myself, is that side mounted, especially if I cupped my hand. Sorry, I'm doing this wrong way. If I cupped it like that, that would work pretty well. But you are very, very limited on space in there. And the mod, which video which I was watching, the guy did then go and get some pliers out and then cut out and break some of the plastic round. So yeah, getting a decent quality microphone would be a good call. Or in fact, I might even just knit the microphone out of one of the Mobiuses instead, because we know that microphone's good, and see if that works or not. So a quick look on there. Oh yeah, thank you, Brad, as well for the comment in there. Let's call it Brad, you're absolutely right. The Runcam 3, the form factor is much, much better for quad pilots. Obviously, that's where it's been aimed for, and with reduced features compared to a GoPro session. Right. Last topic is the links to the next couple of RC coffee chats. They are in the video description for you. So you don't need to run back to the Monday's version. What I will do for today and the next couple of days, I'll put links to the following RC coffee chats in the video description for you. So you only need one link to like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays to get the next day. Remember, we're going undercover for a week just to see what the effect is. Remember, this is me being curious, and of course I probably will go on and publish these episodes later, but I'm curious to see what happens if I don't publish any videos publicly on YouTube for a week. So we are running in covert mode at the moment, and obviously if you're watching this later on, then no apologies. This is like an experiment, and we're in the thick of it right now. So when we're recording this, and we'll see what happens in a week's time to see if the effect was positive or negative, and see what kind of happens from it. So yeah, happy days. Right, it's time for us to wrap up. Let's have a quick look. So remember, there is a vote for Steve's landing in the top right hand corner. Also for you, Joe, specifically, I've also been to put a link in the top right hand corner to the Tundra Maiden for you too. So Joe, if you'd like to watch that afterwards, the link is in the cards in the top right hand corner. So to quickly recap what we covered today, I am going to be making a super light version of the Suicide Bunny or the Micro Sky Munter. It will probably be called the Bunny Light version. I thought that was kind of humorous there, Andy. Any suggestions are on standoff mechanisms for the back. Very, very welcome. If you've got any ideas or suggestions, please do let me know in the Facebook group. Those of you which are not in the Facebook group, shameless plug, there is a link to the Facebook group in the video description. Click the link, top right hand corner, that side. Press the join button and one of us will pick up your join request. And yeah, little 1806 motor on the back. So we'll be going super light, and we'll be looking for efficiency with that model. The tambourine. So that was a quick ad hoc topic for Brad. Yeah, just the cheapo laminating films. I'm using 75 micron. To be honest, I probably, if I had to buy another roll of laminate, clear laminate off eBay, for example, I would definitely go back for the 75 micron stuff. That seems to be like a really nice, easy, workable thickness to work with. So Brad, I hope that helps you. We also did have a chat about the batteries and C ratings as well. Sorry, that was a bit of an ad hoc one which got chucked in as well. A note about Friday. It is, I want to give you as much warning as possible. I am away. I've got a live presentation to do for about 100 people on Thursday evening. That doesn't faze me at all. But reality is I'm not going to be back until late. So that may knock out my sleeping pattern. So apologies in advance if I'm not around on Friday. But for all intents and purposes, it should be going ahead. I just want to give you like an early heads up on that one. The other topic which we had is that Sir Andrew Newton has, well, he said I'm mad, confirmed that one ages ago. But yeah, seriously, imagine that special K model with an extra motor on the back. That would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The Tundra Maiden episode, that is now, it's on YouTube. I remember I've got a nice backlog of videos to publish. That one will come out next week, but obviously there's a link to that in the top right hand corner. I'll also put it in the video description for you, and I will post it in the Facebook group in a few minutes for you as well. Any questions or comments about the Tundra? I've got it here. I do really like it. I genuinely do. And like I said, I can already see that, well, you've already seen that I'm mucking here with FPV pod. We're going to stick a Vector in it and take up a Fun Cub as well. And maybe on that day, we'll also do a comparison. We'll do like a side-by-side comparison of the Fun Cub and the Tundra. And I'll try and get some like latest pricing as well. So we'll look at the kit and see if there's a plug-and-fly version as well. So we'll convert a like-for-like comparison for price. And flyability as well. We'll get Dave. I'll give Dave the transmitter for the Tundra, and I'll take the Fun Cub up as well, and then we'll see what they're like. Now, do note on that one, I don't know when that will happen. Friday is the normal day which we fly on, but unfortunately the weather here is utter pants, so that will be something which we'll do in a later episode. And yeah, don't forget, if you've not, we need to go back to the vote for yesterday as well. We'll do that vote in a few seconds time. Remember, you can vote today for Steve's landing in the top right-hand corner. And yesterday was Chris's turn. And if we look... hang on, that was the vote on Stuart, whether he should stuff that new wing at the top of the tallest tree. And it was a resounding yes. Let me just turn my head off a moment. So you had three options. You know I am a big fan of diplomacy here. At Rag the Nuts Off, and I always try to give you three options, and we had yes, yes, and yes, and apparently Stuart should really stuff that model at the top of the biggest tree at the Flying Club, and then just leave it as a momentum. Momentum at the top. Let's get that one out of the way. Right, and the other... Oh, hang on. Did I... Oh no, I didn't put a vote. Sorry, Chris. That was about Stuart yesterday. My bad. And the other curious question was around the servo lineup which you use. I'm actually quite surprised so many of you are using the TAER setup for your servos. For me, that just makes the most sense. You have the throttle at the front, ailerons on the model, then you have the elevator and then the rudder. That just makes logical sense for me. And again, I am very different to other pilots as well, because I know newer, how do I say this? Traditional pilots, for their rate switches, would have them clicking away from them. For me, I always have them coming towards me. So if I need more movement on my fins or any of the surfaces, my rate switch clicks towards me, and then also on my return to home on all my models, which have got like a vector in them, is that it's the outside two switches and they come towards me. And the reason why I do the things coming towards me is because it's like, come to me, I need more. And it's that expression which I'm using right now. So click, click, come home. Click, click, downwards is to give me more, like as a person, which I know that's whichever way you pick it, just do the same on all your models is what I'm trying to say. And tear was also an option as well that had 1 vote for it, and then something else as well got a couple of votes too. So yeah, I was genuinely surprised on the TAER being the winner there, but then I'm also not surprised that so many of you voted for the AETR, which is like this traditional setup for say for Taba or Spectrum, or yeah, that's the only two which I can think off the top of my head. So yeah, absolutely. Let me just have a quick look at your chat in the background. 99 watch those sliding doors. Matt, come on the tonight. Phil Collins. Matt withdrawals coming up. Cold turkey and lots of bunnies. Yay! Nick. Sorry, Nick. Apologies if that Stuart does stuff it at the top of a tallish tree. You might need to chainsaws to get it down, because I've seen how tall those 2 trees are over on the left. I've seen the videos and I know how tall they are. And again, you'd have to do it via FPV to make sure you get it. You'd have to go up and then you point it down so you make it really get stuck in the branches. Oh, there. So anyway, yeah, links to all the other episodes are in the video description. If you have enjoyed today's RC Coffee Chat, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up icon underneath this video. Of course, if you are watching the recorded version, you can say howdy in the comment section underneath this video. And ultimately, thank you very much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. And that is absolutely stone cold. So for myself, Matt, from a very cold, wet, windy Bristolia, which tomorrow it's a little bit cold and it's not wet and it's not windy, so tomorrow is going to be a flying day. I shall see you then. And on that note, for myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheerios!